Throughout Afghanistan, from the trackless desert to high in the Hindu Kush, American troops go village to village, making contact with the Afghan people.
The Marines like your bread.
I
hope you're ready to make a lot, because we're ready to buy a lot.
Captain Gerard Dempster commands a company of the 2nd Light Armored Reconnaissance Battalion.
The bazaar is really busy today. A lot of individuals are out there. A lot of the ducats are open.
Got some balloons.
Probably is a good opportunity to meet with some of the locals
and to hear from them.
An essential principle of counterinsurgency is to live with and protect the population.
This is a village by village, valley by valley endeavor. And one of the efforts we've made, particularly over the course of the last year, as we have increased the number of our forces and therefore the density of our forces on the ground.
The mosque that's there in the courtyard seems to be the perfect opportunity and the perfect place to kind of gather all these people up as they're following us through the streets, an impromptu meeting to sit down with them and conduct this shura.
A shura, or meeting, is an ancient custom here. It's the way Afghan tribal communities tackle and resolve local issues.
Step up and say, I'll be responsible for a canal project, or I'll be responsible for the roads.
Captain Dempster hopes to motivate the Afghans to take control of their own destiny.
You could take that project and then find people to work for them, and then they pay those people. That way the money that is paid to those that are doing the work stays here in the bazaar and stays here in this village. It's up to you.
I come to listen first.
100 miles away, Lieutenant Colonel Stephen Grass, the executive officer of Regimental Combat Team 2, leads a similar meeting in northern Helmand Province.
Colonel, you just led this shura. How important are these to what you're doing in counterinsurgency?
Sir, our whole fight's about the people here, and they're the center of the coin fight, providing them security and making sure that they understand that we're in tune with their needs. Meeting with them is paramount to understanding their situation, their needs, and eventually giving us enough information to do the right thing, and so that they perceive it's the right thing for them.
Shuras, meetings, and face-to-face time with the locals all yield information on Taliban activities and the drug trade that fuels their insurgency.
The primary funding of the Taliban is through drugs.
Carson Ulrich leads a DEA FAST unit here in Afghanistan.
What does FAST, F-A-S-T, stand for?
It stands for Foreign Deployed Advisory and Support Team. A FAST team is a small group of agents, currently 10 agents, and our job is to target drug organizations and how they interwork with the enemy, Taliban, fund the enemy, and try to remove that asset from the insurgency, the drugs.
It will go down in history as probably one of the most important missions that DEA has ever been on.
Michelle Leonhardt is the administrator of the DEA.
Administrator Leonhardt, this is a poppy field. We're in Helmand Province, the literally bread and butter for the Taliban. What can the DEA do to help stop this harvest from coming in and benefiting them?
Well, the DEA is already doing a number of things within Afghanistan, and especially here in Helmand. And this is what funds the insurgency. This is what breeds corruption, and really men and women addicted on the streets of the United States and in Europe and Russia and other countries.
FAST units partner with special operators, Army Special Forces, Marine Spec Ops, and Navy SEALs, among others.
We can't do our job without them. They allow us to get out to other areas of Afghanistan besides the main area of Kabul.
They also partner with Afghan commandos.
There's actually two types of Afghan police officers that support DEA. We have an SIU, which is an investigative unit, and we have the NIU, which is kind of like an Afghan SWAT team.
The DEA has long had a great intelligence capability.
Keith Weiss is a senior DEA agent.
We're able to deliver this information directly into the hands with the military planners. We work directly with them and then plan missions and execute them.
On this operation, DEA is acting on specific information about the location of a Taliban drug trafficker. Launched well before dawn, 40 operators head southeast from Jalalabad, flying between the soaring peaks of the Hindu Kush. Now, with the sun up, The two Mi-17 Russian helicopters and 3 Huey gunships close in on the target.
The men and women of the DEA realize that the stakes are very high here in Afghanistan. We take this very seriously. We're here to assist our U.S. troops in every way we can. And we feel by every operation that we go out and are successful, we're taking money away from the Taliban.
Once on site, the agents and special operators head uphill to the objective.
Yeah, we have here is a confidential source that's with us. He's essentially someone that has intimate details of the organization. He's able to lead us right into the area where all the drugs and chemicals.
The Taliban purport to be a deeply religious organization, but today they're supported by the opium trade. Cutting their financial links is the mission of the DEA and these special operators. This compound is on a rat line from the poppy fields of Helmand province into Taliban-controlled Pakistan.
These are precursor chemicals used to produce basically heroin.
So this is used to take the opium, turn it into heroin.
Process it in a morphine base, and then in the final stages into processed heroin.
Waleed, you're one of the leaders of the Special Investigations Unit. What have you found here?
We found, based on informant information that we debriefed from yesterday, we found that 60 kilograms of morphine base from this compound.
A lot of morphine.
Lots of morphine. Plus, we got some precursors which called chemicals. Based on the Afghan counter-narcotics law, it's illegal.
No other use for it out here except making heroin?
That's right.
And it would all go to help the Taliban?
That's right. The Taliban get their financial from the money from the drugs.
The NIU agents pull out bags of heroin, and the special operators wire the contraband for destruction.
I'm pretty happy that we seized all those type of drugs.
It's a lot of narcotics.
It is, yes it is.
But on today's mission, this location isn't the only target.
Next location is supposed to have over 100 kilos of heroin and about 350 kilos of opium.
There's more ahead on our special report. Don't go away. High in the mountains of eastern Afghanistan, less than 20 minutes by air from where bin Laden was killed in Pakistan, special operators raid a way station for opium traffickers.
Our main job in country really is to work with our Afghan partners.
The masked informants who led them here have also identified a nearby drug processing lab.
We just got intel that there's about 7 donkeys and 3 adult male departed the compound, and all the donkeys are fully loaded. So we're assuming it's they're smuggling all the dope out.
With a smoke grenade marking the extract LZ from location 1, all 43 raiders board helicopters and head to the second objective.
Afghanistan produces over 90% of the opium and heroin. So DEA needs to be here. We have a responsibility to be here. So we prioritized Afghanistan.
Minutes later, the task force arrives at the target.
Let's get him, let's get him, let's get him. This compound belongs to a significant organization with ties to the Taliban.
After a dangerous assault up the mountain to the compound, they find most of the lab workers escape. But they didn't bother to take their children.
Do you guys have something to break a lock with?
One more round. Narcotics. Heroin.
How many bags do you think?
It's a kilo pack.
How much would that get on the street?
In Afghanistan, approximately $3,000.
And in the US?
$75,000 approximately, a kilo.
What we have are all the components of producing heroin. You have raw poppy, you have processed opium from the poppy, you have the chemicals that are necessary to process the opium into morphine base and heroin. And what you have here is finished product, kilograms of heroin with particular markings that belong to this organization. This kilogram of heroin is essentially processed and refined and ready for transshipment out of the country and into further markets.
This is their trademark?
Yeah, this is a particular stamp that you'll find on a kilogram.
So would this be marketed just like this in Europe or the United States?
Yes, it would.
We know from our many, many years of history in the narcotics business that you cannot stabilize and secure Afghanistan without taking care of the drug problem.
We're privileged to support them on a number of those operations, as are some very good Afghan units, I might add. And there have been some very significant busts of various illegal narcotics industry activities.
With one suspect detained, the task force prepares to blow up the second haul of contraband that day.
3, 2, 1, go!
The raid over, we load up and fly back to base.
We're here in a support role in order to build capacity, provide them the training and expertise through specific programs, as well as through partnering on a day-to-day basis where we work hand in hand with our Afghan counterparts.
We're a team of teams who are here in this country because we believe that we can make a difference, that we can give the Afghans the ability to have hope and opportunity for the future.
We'll have more when War Stories returns.